What's up everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Phil. So let's start rolling out the Christmas recipes, and I'm so excited for this series, guys. So we are starting with these yummy, cheesy and creamy baked potatoes, and I'm telling you guys, you are going to love this. This one is so good, super easy to make as well. So this dish is basically just thinly sliced potatoes mixed with some creamy sauce, and then it's baked until the potatoes are soft and the cheese is melted, and it tastes so amazing. This acts as a perfect side dish for any grilled or fried meat, so this should not miss on your Christmas table. Super easy to make as well. I've listed all the ingredients in the description box down below. Don't forget, check on that. So without saying more, let's get started. So I have 10 large potatoes here, so I'm just going ahead to use my knife and slice them into very thin pieces, as you can see here. So this is the only step that takes time when preparing this recipe. This recipe is actually a very quick recipe. You don't even need much time in the kitchen. So slicing these potatoes takes a bit of time, but if you have a mandolin, it can actually make this process very much quicker. So as you can see here, we've already sliced our potatoes. So just put them aside, and now here I have my baking tray. I have this glass baking tray, which is actually good when I'm baking or making anything in the oven. So if you don't have something like that, you can use this non-stick baking pan, or you can also use a cast iron pan if you have. So you'll spread some vegetable oil on your baking tray or pan, and then you're going to line the potatoes as you see the way I'm doing it here. Arrange them nicely. Then once you're done, you just place that aside as you go to our next step, and our next step is making the cheese sauce. So the cheese sauce is actually very simple to make, and we are making a bechamel sauce. So with this recipe, you can actually use a bechamel sauce, or you can just use a mixture of heavy cream and cheese. But remember, both sauces taste amazing. For our recipe, you're going to use bechamel sauce. So to make the bechamel sauce, you will need 4 cloves of garlic. You will finely mince or grate them. Once you're done, place that aside. Here I have a block of cheese, and the good thing about this recipe is that you can use any cheese that you like. I'm using white cheddar cheese. Mozzarella will also work perfect with this recipe. So just go ahead and grate your cheese, because we will need 2 cups of grated cheese. Once you're done, place that aside as we go to our next step. So when making a bechamel sauce, you'll start by making a roux, and the roux is just a mixture of butter and flour. And for this recipe, we will need 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter. So just go ahead, cut your butter, and then you're just going to add it to your pan. So you're going to place your pan over medium heat, and then once it's heated, you're going to add the butter. You're going to slowly melt that for about a minute or 2. So once the butter is completely melted, we are going to add our grated garlic, and then we're just going to cook this down for about 30 seconds. So at this point, you're not going to brown the garlic. You're just cooking it for about 30 seconds. This is just to remove the raw smell from the garlic. Next, you're going to add 3 tablespoons or a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, and then you're going in with your whisk. You're going to whisk that for about a minute or 2, or until everything is well incorporated. Once you see the bubbles, you're going to add milk. So we are using 2 cups of milk, and we are going to add the milk gradually. So the reason why we are adding it gradually is to avoid any lumps in our sauce. So just continue adding the milk gradually until you're all done. So now you will realize that your sauce has become thick. Let it bubble a bit, and then you will season it with a teaspoon of dry thyme, a teaspoon of salt, and a quarter teaspoon of black pepper. Go ahead and mix that well for about a minute. So you'll just let this cook for about 2 minutes while mixing. Don't leave your pan at any point. And as you can see, our sauce is ready. It looks nicely thick, and this is what we need. So now that our sauce is ready, you'll just turn off the heat, and then we are going to add the grated cheese that we prepared earlier. So add the cheese, and then you're going to continue mixing everything until all the cheese has melted in that sauce. So alternatively, you can as well make the other sauce that I mentioned earlier. So with this sauce, you don't have to add any flour in your sauce. So you just use heavy cream. So what you'll need, you'll just heat some butter and garlic, and then you just add heavy cream and the same seasoning that I've used in this recipe. So that is just simple. I'll also list the ingredients in the description box down below, so don't forget to check on that. So now that our sauce is ready, pour it on top of the potatoes and make sure that all the corners around the pan is covered with that cheesy sauce. So now you'll take some cheese that you grated earlier and just top it. So make sure that you spread it all around the pan. And once you're done, you're going to cover your baking pan or baking tray with aluminum foil. So the reason why we're using aluminum foil is that it traps moisture in your baking pan, and that will help the potatoes cook very faster. And it will also help the cheese that we put on top not to burn before the potatoes have been cooked. So you're going to bake that for about 30 minutes in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius. And once the 30 minutes is done, you just remove it from the oven, remove the foil that we put on top, and then you're going to return it back to the oven, and you're going to continue baking this for another 35 minutes to 40 minutes or until our cheese is nicely melted and it's nicely browned on top. And our meal is ready. It smells so amazing, guys, and as you can see, the bubbles on top, it looks so good. So what you'll do, you'll just let this rest for about 10 minutes just to cool down before you serve. And I will recommend you serve it immediately once it has cooled down with some barbecued meat or fried meat or grilled meat. This one goes well with any grilled or fried chicken. It tastes so yummy. It's creamy, cheesy, and just melts in your mouth. And as I've mentioned earlier, this should not miss on your Christmas menu. Everyone is gonna love it. So anyway, guys, I hope you make it. I hope you enjoy with your loved ones. And as usual, if you make it, don't forget to tell me how yours came out in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more of my amazing recipes. Remember, you can always connect on Instagram or on TikTok at Phils_kitchen. So till my next video, guys, bye.